Good Saturday morning, and welcome to another exciting edition of Outdoors with Larry Ray on 790 The Bet. Brought to you proudly by the Tennessee Wildlife Resources Agency, B&M Poles, and Ducks Unlimited. Now, here's your host, Larry Ray.
It's Saturday morning. Welcome to Outdoors with Larry Ray. And I beg your pardon. This didn't promise you a rose garden, but today's got off kind of rough as we do real radio, and we call this thing, and we never know what's going to happen. We had to move studios, things like that. Shelby McCall is taking care of us, but a jam-packed show. We're going to shuffle some folks around, and let's just start. All right, on this Saturday morning on April the 5th. It's good to have my man over there, Guy Trebo. Good morning, Guy Trebo, all right, from LarryRay.com. And always a special guest when Johnny McFarland, Mid-South Quail Forever, comes in the studio on his own.
Yep, happy to
Didn't
do it
have
today,
an
Larry.
entourage or nothing. Your bodyguards or everything.
Didn't have to bring a driver, and it's always fun to be on the show with you.
Well, it's good to see you, Johnny. And this show is jam-packed this morning, folks, as we get everything in on this special Saturday. And I'm going to kick it right off because we're lined up today, and that's what we like on Outdoors with Larry Ray. We touch a lot of bases, and I really wanted to get this guest in real quickly before we talk to Johnny and Guy because something special is going on over at Pickwick. You know that's one of my favorite places, and if you're always looking for some place to stay over there, I know of a good place right now. In fact, I think it's open for business. It might have opened on April Fool's Day. I'm not sure, but we're talking about the Pickwick Lake Lodge, and of course, Lance Walker and Stacy Walker. It's their brainchild, and I said, we're going to squeeze that in. Good morning, Lance Walker.
Hey, good morning, Larry. Appreciate it. Thanks, guys. Yeah, I tell you, it may be a great brainchild or it may be a dumb one. I don't know, but I know that it's something that we had a real vision of, and any of us outdoors people, not just people that fish, but anybody that has boats or even Arctic cats or comes trailers. I mean, Pickwick's become a place that is not just for boats, but a lot of people come up here and have ATVs and do trail rides and do things. And we just came up with an idea with me traveling, and I travel and fish a lot of places, and I just really don't like leaving my boat out in an open parking lot.
Yes.
I don't like my graphs and the electronics are so expensive and all my toys. And I said, Stacy, as I'm retiring, and I'm retiring from one career and moving into another one, Larry. And as we did that, I said, I'd like, what if we took some land that we already own? I said, right here about a mile from Pickwick Landing State Park, and we built a lodge that was suites and had about 600 foot, had a sitting area, double bed, big bathroom, and but each one has 2 parking bays that are covered in front of your room.
I noticed that. Yes, yeah.
It was with security cameras on them, with motion lights, and look, we don't have a big problem with stuff up here at Pickwick, but there's problems everywhere. But just to have that security feature, and I said, if we could build something like that, and I could find it anywhere I traveled, I would stay there. So. You're right. We opened April 1st. We've had a couple of people stay with us, and we got a pretty full house this weekend. We got 5 rooms, so we got a few left. Maybe for anybody wants to call in for tonight on Saturday night. But we're starting with 8 rooms. We can grow it to be a little more, but it's kind of a different format than some other people may have.
Well, I know, and again, we're talking to Lance Walker. Of course, Lance from his fishing days and Absolute Eyewear and all these things. I've known Lance since he was a kid, and of course, I still miss his dad. I mean, we had some great memories, Lance. I think about him all the time. When I hear Pickwick, I think about him, and I think about you and Stacy, of course, with Prime One Camo and what y'all have done. And this idea really hit me because I know that people are looking for places to stay, but what's it to spark? And I've seen the pictures, and we'll give Lance the little plug on all that when you go to PickwickLakeLodge.com. I think that's what it is, Lance, if I'm not mistaken.
It is.
The format yourself, it's done for the family, but it's also done for the angler. It's in your roots and things along that line. So talk about that. Was that part of it to not only have a first-class place to stay, But you wanted that boat cover too. I mean, that was pretty impressive.
Absolutely. You know, my wife, what she said, you know, when she got involved in it with Stacy, she said, look, it may be a fisherman's lodge, but it's going to have a woman's touch.
It does, yes.
And I mean, you know, from poplar inside the rooms to you know, like my ceilings, I have 10-foot ceilings in there. People say, why are the ceilings so tall? Well, any of us guys that pull our rods out of our boats and take them inside and rig them, how many times have you stuck a rod through a ceiling fan?
It looked like Huey's in Memphis with all the toothpicks in the ceiling.
Stuck in the ceiling.
Yeah, that's what it's done. But I noticed that, and then the name itself. You guys have got such a. I know how important Pickwick is to y'all, right, Lance? I mean.
Oh, look, you know, this came home for us. You know, I've had a house up here for 25 years, but we've lived full time for 15. And look, you know, and so many tournaments are going on Pickwick. And look, you mentioned my dad. I mean, I went out just yesterday. The crappie fishing is as good as it's ever been this time of year. And I couldn't help when number 60 hit the live well with my son. You know, we had a good long talk about Papa Ted about you know how blessed he would be and how proud he'd be. Because let me just say this: I'm not just Stacy and I aren't the only owners of this. This is as you know, Larry. We do a lot of things with family.
But
my son Cole, who's 27, he owns half of this.
There
he
you
actually
go.
saved money and went in there and signed the notes with Daddy, and he's half. He and his wife Sarah are half owners, and
that's great.
And so we hope to make this a family. I've got my grandson in the back room right now, and he calls it his hotel. You know, he says, "Pop, that's my hotel." You know, and I hope that when he's 25 or 30, he can look over there and there'll be a nice place that families can have a good time and come in and enjoy this beautiful lake.
And just a mile from being able to put that boat in the water, right? I mean, you've got a prime location, don't you? I mean,
yeah, we're right on Highway 57, right in the middle of Counts. We're 1.2 miles from the state park, about 3 miles from state line. Right on the main road, right next to Dollar General, and good food and a laundromat. So, we thought the location was right.
Great location.
And excited, excited for people to come in. Look, the first few people that have come, we started Thursday night, actually Friday night, was the first time booked. Yeah. And people have really raved over it.
I've already seen the reviews already that you're getting from people, and I know I can't wait to get up there because it's just such a great location. I wanted to throw Lance in there, not under the bus, so to speak, but I wanted to get him to kick off. So when in 20 years, when I become that'll make me 100. When I turn 100, I'll know that I was on the radio with Lance Walker talking about the Pickwick Lake Lodge, and I was there when it started. But Lance, thank you, buddy. Folks, tell them how they get information, where to go to.
Yeah, absolutely. Just like you said, Larry, www.pickwick.lakelodge.com is the best place. And, of course, on Facebook or on Instagram, we've also under Pickwick Lake Lodge. You can find us there. And another thing, Larry, that may be pretty interesting to people, I've got to where I publish a lake report and a river report. And
you got a fishing report in there too. I mean,
we do, and I've got. It's not just for me. We got some great people, like Donald Hedge and some of these ones that are river experts. We got some other people that are contributing to that. So, hopefully not only will people come stay with us, but we may even pass on a little hint to you every now and then,
Well, I saw also that you got Jimmy Washington. You got some pretty good guides there, too, that you got connections to, don't you, Lance?
Look, we do. Look, you got Jimmy Washington who's fishing Lake Norfolk, right?
He's up
in the
there
Bassmaster today.
Yes,
yeah. You got Donald Hedge, who's probably the best fisherman on the Tennessee River down there below.
Yeah.
No questions asked. You got Hunter Naney, who's probably one of the best young guys that can also work on boats there.
Yeah, folks.
And then Jimmy Mason, who there's no better guide on the upper end, as far as that. So we try to kind of cover the entire Lake Pickwick when somebody calls. Yeah. If you want to go below, you want to do this, and everybody has their kind of own tactic. But those four guys are affiliated with us, and man, we're tickled to have them.
And folks, when you go to that website, it's a cool website too. They got the numbers for all those guides. They got all the information. So go to PickwickLakeLodge.com. Lance, thank you, buddy. Have a great weekend, and you and Stacy stay in touch, okay, man? All right.
Thank you, Larry. Yeah, thank you, guys. Have a blessed day.
Okay, Lance Walker. All right, let's. We're rolling along here. I don't know where we are, but we're rolling along. And Johnny, I know you're in here. This crazy weather we've had this week.
Oh, beautiful weather, Larry.
You guys have got something we're going to talk about throughout the show today. Coming up on the 12th.
Yes, sir. A week from today.
It's the Mid-South Quail Forever fundraiser. That's F-U-N-D, not F-U-N raiser. Fund.
But we like to put the fun in
You
fundraising.
you do that for quail conservation, Memphis Sports Shooting Association out at the good place.
Yes, sir.
Yeah.
Now, Memphis Sports Shooting is, I'm sure, is a
Oh, yeah.
private club.
Yes. Yeah.
But on for this event, you don't have to be a member of MSSA
Okay.
to come out and shoot.
Let me get my glasses so I can read that.
That's all right.
I was trying to figure that out there.
It's going to be started. It's going to be on October 12th.
Not October 12th. Come on, Johnny. April 12th.
April 12th. Thank you.
Yeah, if you want to come out there on October 12th, see Johnny out
There'll be
there.
something else going on.
I
there.
really. And we want people out there between. Actually, if you can get there between 8 and 8:30, you can be there early for registration.
Yeah.
We're going to have several events going on.
I'm looking at them.
We're going to have the main event,
Yeah.
which will be 100 clay targets.
Okay.
And then also, if you don't feel like shooting 100 clay targets,
No.
we're going to have a side-by-side and small gauge. If you want to come
Okay.
out there with your side-by-side shotgun
All right.
or your 20, or if you're really tough, your 28 gauge,
All right.
and you'll compete on a 50 target course
All right.
with
Yeah.
smaller guns.
Okay.
We're going to have some side games too. We're working on one this year.
Don't tell him anything else.
All
Hold
right.
it there. We're going to keep your tease because Johnny's going to be here. You will have raffles and door prizes.
Oh,
right?
yes, sir.
You need something from me?
Of course.
Okay, I will. All right, I'm
I count on that, Larry.
You're counting on that right now. All right, let's take a break. First break of the morning. We're going to talk a lot about knives today. You know I like knives.
Oh.
I've got one in my pocket now. I carry it around with me except where I can't carry it. And then I carry it without thinking I didn't have it. I did have it. But let's take a break on Outdoors with Larry Ray. We're coming right back. We're going to talk outdoor edge. That's a knife company. We'll be right back.
Good Saturday morning, and welcome to another exciting edition of Outdoors with Larry Ray on 790 The Bet. Brought to you proudly by the Tennessee Wildlife Resources Agency, B&M Poles, and Ducks Unlimited. Now, here's your host, Larry Ray.
Hey, good Saturday morning. Welcome back to Outdoors with Larry Ray as we roll into our 25th year on the air, and it is very hectic in the studio this morning. Shelby McCall is trying her best. We had to move into a different studio here at Odyssey Radio. There's about, 5 or 6 stations as far as I know, and we're used to the Grizzly station, and we're in a different studio this Saturday morning. But we're going to roll on with the show, and when I got my press release from my good friend Karen, and I know I'm going to get good information about any of her clients, and Karen Lutto, I go back years with Karen, and she said, man, you need to talk about some new knives coming up from Outdoor Edge. And I said, man, I like to talk about knives. And so we've got him on right now. We got the Knife Man on now.
Okay.
And they told me that you were a real cut-up now, Will. So, I mean, that's my guest in here. They're paying to be in here, I think. But Will Morgan, he's the Director of Marketing and Product Management for our good friends at Outdoor Edge. Good Saturday morning, Will.
Hey, good morning, Larry. Thanks for having me.
I know that we've been having rain and tornadoes, and Will, bless his heart, out there in Lakeland, Colorado, said they're getting ready for a snowstorm. I mean, which is not unusual in April in Colorado, and it's not unusual for storms here. But let's talk, Will. I mean, you've been with this great company I've seen for quite a while, and got your bio here and everything like that. You guys have an abundance of products to talk about. But let's talk about it before we get into the crazy stuff that I'm probably going to ask you about the new Outdoor Edge Vantex. Let's talk about that first.
Yeah, so the Vantex is one of our brand new products for 2025.
Okay.
Outdoor Edge has really been a leader in the outdoor hunting space, since we started back in 1988 in Colorado. But this year we really decided to bring something new to market for the everyday hunter, and that is the Vantex line of hunting knives. We have a 4-piece kit. That 4-piece kit consists of a 3-inch caping knife, a really beautiful 3.5-inch deep-bellied drop point knife, and then a nice kind of mid-flex 5-inch boning knife. And it comes in a roll pack. We have a 2-stage sharpen in there. So, that is a great kit for the guy on the go. It can sit in your glove box, your side-by-side, in your pack. It can stay back at your hunting camp. And everything rolls up in a really nice compact roll pack. And all 3 knives, they have an individual sheath, and the sheath is removable. So maybe you're running and gunning turkeys, and you just need one knife. You can pull that knife out and head off after that gobbler.
And I was looking on that. Everything is weighted now. I got a new shotgun coming. They've told me it's going to be 6 pounds. I'm going to weigh it when I get it, if I get it in time for turkey season. And I started adding up the weight of this knife set. If you add the sheath, that's 4.8 ounces. Everything's in ounces now. So talk about the lightweightness of this, Will, because this is a 3.5-inch drop point knife, weighing ounces now. I mean, talk about the lightweight ability. That, I guess you guys wanted that. If you're going to use this in the woods, you don't want to go in there with a Jim Bowie knife, it makes you walk funny and things like that. But this is for as you said, I don't run and gun like I used to. I gun, but I don't run, But you've put the ounces in there, too, because that's an important part that a lot of, in this day and time, you want your quality equipment, but you want it to be accessible easily. So talk about that.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, you said it, like, weight adds up really quickly. You start, throwing something here, something there in your pack. Next thing you know, your pack's heavier than you want it to be. So, even though this knife, just the drop point, the sheath, 4+ ounces, it is lightweight, but the quality is there. It's still a full tang handle. So that blade runs all the way through that handle. So you can pry on that knife. It's not gonna fail on you. We use really good high carbon steel on there, so it holds a great edge. It sharpens extremely easy as well. So we're always kind of on the product side, really dissecting the user groups to understand what the need and the desire is out there. And lightweight and dependability are our two goalposts that we always strive towards.
And being from the north that you are, from Wisconsin and up in that area, to be in Colorado now, Outdoor Edge, and I've kept up with it for years. I've used the product and other things like that. You said 88. It's a company that believes in not sitting still. I think you're looking for things to improve your product all the time, and I guess that's part of marketing for you, right, Will? I mean, to let people know you're not just sitting back and saying, "Hey, we've been here 27 years to 37 years," But we're really, really fortunate. The entire company is full of outdoor enthusiasts, hunters, hikers, campers, fishermen. And we're constantly innovating and striving to, bring the best product to market. And like I said, bringing in innovation. This year was a giant year. We're coming outside the Vantex. That's, so we have the 4-piece kit in the Vantex. You can buy the boning knife and the drop point alone. Outside of that, we have another 23 new products this
year alone.
23 new products. So
it's a big year. So we have 2 new lines of hunting knives that incorporate our replaceable blade razor safe technology in them. We have new blade packs. We have 2 new lines of carry knives this year. It's a big year, and like you said, we don't sit still.
No, I don't think you can. Again, we're talking to Will Morgan. He is the marketing man, head man, director of marketing product management for our good friends at Outdoor Edge, based out of Colorado, the Denver area there. And when I was looking at your bio, Will, man, you've lived in some nice places. I mean, you went to Steamboat Springs, Eagle, Colorado. I don't see anything here that says New York City. So I mean,
No, I try to steer clear of the cities the best I can. I like the woods and the mountains.
I think that's a pretty good because when you're from northern Wisconsin and you're talking about April snowstorms here, but so we want to know where can our folks get information about this, Will, and we're going to stay in touch with you, but give them how they find it because I need to know some prices because you guys are making it affordable for the folks too, right?
Yeah, we do. So we are getting ready to launch all of these new products in the coming weeks.
Okay.
You can go to outdooredge.com and find them.
Okay.
All of your favorite sporting goods stores will be carrying the vast majority of our new product line, as well as our kind of inline legacy products that are still great products as well.
Well, I know that Vantex. I like the name of that. I mean, even the name is a catchy thing, and that's you can get that 4 set, if I'm not mistaken, for less than $100, right? I mean,
you can, yeah. The price on that is $79.99 for that 4-piece kit.
Come on, is there a tariff on that too? There's no tariff, is there? I want to make sure. Okay,
No, we're good there for now.
Hey, Will, thank you, buddy, for being us on Outdoors with Larry Ray. We got your number in our system here. We'll stay in touch, okay, man?
All right, sounds good, Larry. Thanks for having me.
All right, Will Morgan. All right.
Yeah, bye-bye.
All right, Will. Let's let Will out. Then I want to get a quick report from my man over there, Guy Trebo.
Yes, sir.
What's going on at LarryRay.com?
Oh, I would say new this week on the site. Do you know what a tiger trout is?
Mm-hmm. Good story, wasn't it?
It's a great story. They've released some 200 tiger trout there around Bull Shoals Dam.
Yes, yeah.
They get big.
They get big, and they're pretty unusual looking with all those tiger spots on them and all like that,
It looks like they kind of melted a little bit on the sides. But they, So, I mean, the limit is one if you catch one.
That's right, yeah.
But interesting looking fish, but that's a good story.
So we got a story plus we got a photograph of that tiger
yes,
trout.
there are. Yeah, and there's one photograph on there of a very big tiger trout.
So they can get size-wise. I mean,
bigger than that one you caught, that 10-pounder.
30 inches long, though. Mine was a long one, though.
Well, ain't never going away. It's gotten bigger over the years.
No, it has not.
It has gotten bigger.
No,
it was like 8 pounds when you first said it.
No, it wasn't. No. It's going to be the same until then you can once.
Well, that was a good one.
It was a good one. But anyway, go to LarryRay.com, and we spelled it the correct way, REA.com.
Yeah, and just real quick.
What? Quick.
Be sure information about the quail, Michelle Quail Forever.
Yes, we've got it on the website.
We're going to be talking about that, but it is on there. So if you need information
for next Saturday,
there's a link to sign up, and I'm going to put the QR code on there too.
Oh, great!
All right, so that's on there.
That's coming up quick.
A lot of the fishing reports. We just got a new Steve McAdams fishing report came in.
We always have that. We got links to all those guys.
All the fishing reports, all the different organizations: Arkansas Game and Fish, Mississippi, Tennessee,
NDWFP,
TWRA,
AGEFC, everything. We got it all.
You did that good.
MOUSE.
The MOU. All right, let's take a break. Now let's roll this baby out because we're going to switch now. We're going to talk a little B&M polls, and we got some other things to share in this next segment. I'll try to get through it. We'll be right back on Outdoors with Larry Ray.
Welcome back to Outdoors with Larry Ray, brought to you by the Tennessee Wildlife Resources Agency, B&M Poles, and Ducks Unlimited.
Hey, good Saturday morning. Welcome back to Outdoors with Larry Ray. Kind of hectic around here in the studio. A lot of things going on in a new studio. My good friend Johnny McFarland from Mid-South Quail Forever is in the studio talking about their big event coming up next Saturday. Of course, my man over there, my webmaster from LarryRay.com. We're going to squeeze in right now because I really wanted to report this to let everybody know that Bill Cooksey did make it back from South Africa. Some people say, is he still there? We reported, and then I said, well, maybe he is. No. Bill, I know you had an unbelievable trip. We're going to get a little tease now, not only about what Bill's trip, which we're going to include on Outdoors of LarryRay.com, once we see all the pictures of all the 28,000 animals he killed. No, he didn't kill them. No, it was 5 or 4. What, 5? 5? Five. But we're going to include that on LarryRay.com. But we also want to tease you on next week's show because it is our annual turkey show. And we couldn't do it without Bill. I mean, Bill's been a part of it so many years, and it's going to be jam-packed, Bill. Hopefully won't be in this studio next week. Shelby, let's put in a request to get back where we belong. But quickly, Bill, I know the Bill, of course, is with the Tennessee Wildlife Federation, co-host of this show for many, many years, Legend of the Outdoors Hall of Fame, same year that somebody else I know went in. I think he might have mentioned me. I don't know. But an unbelievable trip, Bill. How about give us a 5-minute synopsis here before we get into Jack Wells and B&M polls? Talk about it.
Yeah, Larry, it exceeded any and all expectations for the three of us who went together. From start to finish, the people hosting us were just incredibly professional, and it was like hunting with a good friend all week.
Yeah.
Especially once we got over a little bit. We didn't necessarily have a language barrier, but English isn't their first language in South Africa typically. And it's early in the season, so they haven't been talking to many folks that talk like we do for a while.
Yeah, okay.
So once we got over each other's accents, I mean, it was just a ball. You get in the trucks, and it was a one-on-one deal, so each of us had our own professional hunter and tracker.
Wow.
We'd get in their truck in the morning, and you drive around looking for game. Then you get down and you stalk it. And probably the toughest I hunted was zebra.
Zebra.
Believe it or not.
Okay.
Now, Frank, he shot a Cape Buffalo, so that was that really took things up a notch. It charged. It did the whole deal, so he got the whole experience.
Okay.
We ate game at every meal.
Every
game
meal
that we had shot.
Okay.
Some of everything. Zebra was exceptional. We had Cape Buffalo liver and onions. And it
Cape
was
Buffalo
awesome.
liver and onions. I know this is Saturday morning, and people are saying, "Did he say liver and onions on Saturday morning?" Cape Buffalo liver and onions, folks. Yeah. So, but
they said in over 20 years in this business, we're the first group they've ever had who all like liver and onions.
Oh, I like liver and onions. I've never had a Cape Buffalo liver, but I know onion's an onion, you know. But so you got a zebra. What animals did you take then?
Okay, zebra, 2 impala,
2
a
impala,
blessbach,
okay,
and a nyala.
And a what? A wawa?
Nyala. Nyala.
Okay.
It's one of the spiral horned animals.
Oh, is that you? Is that the picture of you with that one? Is that the one I've seen, or is that something else? The impala? I don't know. Anyway, we got some. He ran a picture of you with one animal that was.
I mean, I've had them all up on Facebook.
Okay,
so,
you have. Yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
But I didn't know you shot a car in the impala. You know, I mean, they're kind of hard to catch over there. But
hey, the impalas are neat antelope. They're not unusual, but they are wary. They're fast.
Yeah, they're very fast.
And they're what's on the cover of Roland Ward, which is like their Boone and Crockett Club.
Wow. So
it's one of those iconic antelope.
So Bill's going to put something together for us for LarryRay.com, and then next week he'll be part of our turkey show as we have Pat Pitt, Steve Turpin, just a lot of Russell. Again, a lot of the guys next week as we talk turkey as the season's getting ready to crank up on April the 12th. I'm hoping I'll be there. I'm hoping my Mossberg shotgun will be there. Linda Powell, I need it. Okay, but so one memory, Bill. What's the number one memory from this trip to South Africa? Or is that
Larry,
impossible?
It is impossible because it was dynamite start to finish. I mean, by the second day, Frank was already planning to go back next year. You know, we all just agreed it was a trip of a lifetime. And if there's any way, if you like hunting, don't worry about the big game, small game, or whatever.
Go.
Try to make it happen. It's cheaper than an elk hunt out west.
Wow. All right. And
if you watch how you do it.
Yes, and you have plenty of time to think about it on the way, right? So, I mean,
it was 34 hours from the time we left camp to the time I touched down in Memphis.
34 hours. I don't know how many how many anxiety pills can I take in that 34 hours, you know. But all right, Bill Cooksey, thank you, buddy. We got to let you go. Talk to you next week on turkey hunting. That's not a put down. We're going from the big game to my big game. Okay, next week. All right, Bill. Thank you, buddy. Have a great
All right,
one.
thank y'all.
All right, Bill Cooksey. All right, we're going to try to hook up with Jack Wells now from B&M, not only to talk about what's going on at B&M because they are a sponsor of Outdoors with Larry Ray, but it's time for us to finally talk about a subject that's really been hard this week, and that is the unexpected passing of our good friend Ron Wong. I can't tell you what it's been like for me to I miss him greatly because he's been part of this show for so long, and I'm going to tell you right now, we're going to try to hook up with Jack if we can. We're going to do a tribute to Ron on April the, 2 weeks from this Saturday, so that would be the 12th, the 19th. We're going to do a tribute to Ron with as many people as we can get on there doing Ron justice. I don't have the funeral arrangements yet, but we will post those on Facebook when they are come up. But right now, I do not have those. But we're all in a state of shock. I can't tell you how many people have responded to this on my phone, texts, emails, calls from all over the United States. Yeah. But it's just it's a loss. But we're struggling through it. His sister Debbie is in town. I'm pretty sure the funeral will be at Memorial Park. Memphis Funeral Home. And I'll let you know that on Facebook or whatever it might be. But all right, we're going to talk to Jack Wells. We got Jack on the line here. Shelby's got him all hooked up. Let me switch it in as we get Jack on the line with us. Hey, Jack. Good Saturday morning.
Happy Saturday to you, Larry.
Yeah, we're running behind. You know how it is. They put us in a new studio, and then 6 people show up that I don't even know. They're in here, but no. But I wanted to talk to Jack not only because, of course, B&M is one of our sponsors, a proud sponsor of Outdoors with Larry Ray, and they got so many good things going. And Jack, I finally was able to mention the loss of Ron Wong. And I know I said nobody could mention more about Ron than what he thought about B&M and you guys and the loyalty he had to your company and the crappie world that it was. And I said, Jack, we'll talk about a new product and things like that, but I just thought it's fitting that Jack might be able to say a few words about Ron, what he's meant to the industry, and not just as our friend. So, Jack, I'm going to put you on the spot, buddy, but I just thought it'd be great if you could say something about Ron, because I'm having trouble.
I'd love to. I'll try to keep it together here, but
I can't.
The one thing I will say is this: Ron Wong was crappie long before crappie became cool.
Yes, he was.
Okay.
Yes.
He was always very focused on crappie fishing and techniques and news and anything related to that. And for so many decades, crappie crappie was kind of outside the conversation of fishing.
Yeah.
It was usually bass centric or something like that. So Ron is one of the ones that really kind of took crappie fishing under his wing and set out to increase participation in that. For me, that's what he did for the industry.
Yeah.
On a personal side, I loved Ron. When you saw Ron, he was always smiling.
Yeah.
He was always laughing.
Yeah.
The only time he was not smiling and laughing was when you weren't behaving correctly to get your picture made with him. At that point, he would let you know pretty quickly what needed to be done.
Yes, he would with his camera too.
But it's strange too, because as the news came out and of course, I can tell you, if Facebook had trends like Twitter had trends, Ron Wong would be at the top of the trend on Facebook now with everybody just, coming out and pouring out, their respect for him and their love for him. But I went to go try to find a picture of Ron and me.
Yeah.
And it was hard. I couldn't find one because Ron's always on the backside of the camera.
Yeah. Yeah.
And so, but what I ended up finding was a picture of Ron, and he's wearing a B&M cap, but it's a powder blue and red hat. Now, Ron was an avid Ole Miss fan. His tailgate in the Grove was legendary.
Yes, that's right.
And of course, I'm driving south down 45 on Saturdays to the other school.
That's right. Yeah.
I'm a Bulldog.
Yeah.
And so he and I used to always have fun.
Yeah.
But I made that hat for him.
Oh, you did? Oh, I did not know
I did.
that.
And, and so oddly enough, it's become really one of our most popular color schemes. But when I had those hats made, Ron was one of the first ones to get it. And I was just, he loved that hat. I've seen him wearing it a lot, and it just, it always pleased me, that he loved that hat so much. And, that just describes Ron. I mean, he would do anything for anybody, and if you ever did anything for him, he was so appreciative of it.
Yeah, he was. Yes.
And I'm telling you, it was a huge loss personally, and it was a huge loss for crappie fishing for him.
Well, I know I haven't been the same since 11:30 Monday night, and I just wanted Jack not necessarily to promote B&M. It doesn't really need promoting, but it does because of the company you guys have created there in West Point, Mississippi, and how he loved being a part of that team. And I'm a Razorback fan, you know that, and we survived. It was tough. It was tough, Every time that the Rebels would do something, I would hear from him, but it was real nice. He said, "Oh, you played real good." No, he didn't. I mean, we didn't. But anyway, hey, Jack, I thank you, buddy, for this quick synopsis.
Thank you.
And like I said, we're going to do more of a tribute for Ron in a couple of weeks, and I'm going to lean on you and Kent and some of the great guys you got. But just keep that memory, and I'll be posting that funeral arrangement as soon as I get it, Jack. Okay, man?
I'd be honored to be a part of it. Thank you.
All right, thank you. All right, let's take a break on the Outdoors with Larry Ray. We'll be right back.
Welcome back to Outdoors with Larry Ray, brought to you by the Tennessee Wildlife Resources Agency, B&M Poles, and Ducks Unlimited.
Hey, good Saturday morning. Welcome back to Outdoors with Larry Ray as we talk about one of my favorite subjects, getting ready to roll up right now. And in fact, on next week's show, we will be doing our annual turkey show. We'll have the studio full of turkey hunters. There'll be so much noise, making music and stuff like that as we get ready to open the season on April the 12th. And when my good friend Amy Spencer came in and said, "Hey, we got a young man that just won a big award at the National Wild Turkey Federation." I said, "Well, put me on this guy." And she said, "Well, Damon Hollis is his name. He's a regional wildlife forestry manager with the TWRA, and he received the Joe Kurtz Wildlife Manager of the Year award from the NWTF in 2025, and we've got Damon on the line right now. Good morning, Damon.
Good morning.
Glad to have you, buddy. Let's talk about this award.
Glad to be here.
How do they tell you? I know something's going on. I mean, you get invited to Nashville. I hope they let you stay overnight, maybe at least one night, and honored you. But talk about this award, what it means to you, and how were you informed that you won it? That's a pretty cool thing.
Oh, yeah. I mean, it's been a huge honor. You don't really, we're just doing our job. But it's certainly a humbling honor. I actually received an email notifying me of the award. And at first I thought this was spam. I nearly deleted it.
Did you really? Okay.
I was, just checking your daily checking emails. Comes through and talks about an award, and you're like, oh no, this is not real.
Oh, that goes into my spam. That's you. That's right. What made you not do it? You said, let's check it out.
Yeah. I just read a little further and realized, hey, man, and I have a good friend I went to grad school with that works for WTF, and I actually just texted him. I said, is this a real
verification?
thing? I'm trying to make sure this is not a spam email here. And of course, he let me know, like, oh yeah, that's the real deal. So.
And then so you go to Nashville, they call you up on the stage and make this big award. What's going through your mind, Damon? I know you said you've been with the TWRA for 14 years. You're based out of one of my favorite places, Greenfield. So what's going through your mind? You got to be this is not something that everybody expects to win, but at the same time, I can tell turkeys are important to you. So what's going through your mind when you get this award?
Well, I have to go get up there and give an acceptance speech, and I'm not a public speaker, although I do a considerable amount of public speaking. I'm generally talking about what I do for work, what I'm passionate about.
Right. Yeah.
But it's a little different feeling getting up there when they're giving they're presenting you with this award. So
yeah.
It's a little different. Like normally I'm just talking about what I do.
Yeah. But the love of turkey hunting. Talk about that. I mean, with your position. I was looking at some of the stuff here that Amy had sent me about your things that you have done, and regional wildlife forestry manager, visionary, dedicated to enhancing forest ecosystem for the benefit of wild turkeys. So did you grow up? Where'd you grow up in? Where's your home?
I grew up here in Greenfield area.
Oh,
I was fortunate enough after grad school to be able to come right back home. And
that is amazing.
It's been a blessing.
Yeah, I'm sure you were thinking about ecosystems when you came back home, right? Well, so what's the deal with turkeys for you, Damon?
I got into this field because I'm big into bottomland hardwood.
Yeah.
Reforestation, management, and all that sort of thing. But several years ago, I just decided, hey, let's try to focus on facilitating good habitat for nesting and brood ring habitat for the wild turkey, because they need it. They need help.
They do, don't they? Yeah.
And of course, the habitat we're facilitating, it helps many other species at the same time. But,
yeah.
I'm passionate about wild turkey. Turkey hunter, love managing turkeys. And so we've just kind of focused on, like I said, facilitating that early successional habitat that's such a critical component for success of the wild turkey.
It is. Again, we're talking to Damon Hollis. He is the award-winning Manager of the Year award from the NWTF earlier this year. And I did notice in here that when the TWRA initiated its wild turkey leg banding project, that you jumped on board on that, and turkey trapping. I have to admit that I've been a part of turkey trapping early in my career in the media. I've been there when they shot the cannon and trapped the birds in Shelby Forest, and they sent them all over to Middle Tennessee, and now I wish they'd send some of them back, Damon. But I'll be 82 in May, and I still can I can't vacuum my den, but I can sure crawl on my belly for a turkey. So
that's right.
I think that's part of it. So the banding part, over 60 turkeys, you also like just to drive around and watch them. So what's it about the turkey itself? I mean, when I told somebody, now, Damon, I have not killed that many. When I told a guy that I've only killed 6 turkeys in my lifetime, he said, man, you must be a bad hunter. This is, I'm not going to tell him how many deer I've killed, but I'm going to tell you that it makes them special, right? So talk about the turkey hunter in you.
Oh, I'm a big turkey hunter, and I'm more like a habitat biologist, and hey, I just decided, if you're going to focus on species, what's a good one to focus on?
That's a great one.
Well, it's such a good, why not the wild turkey? That's the one that really need our help.
Yeah.
Populations are declining across the country, so let's do what we can, because that habitat, that early successional habitat, is so lacking across not just public lands, but across the landscape, public and private. And if we can do something that kind of turn that tide a little bit, then we've done our part.
Well, I think a lot of that is everybody thinks that in your position all you do is turkey hunt. No, I mean it's a job for you guys. I mean, you're out there trying to improve the habitat, whatever it might be. I doubt if you get to turkey hunt every day of the season, right? I mean.
No, I certainly don't get to go as much as I used to.
Okay.
But that's okay. That's okay.
That is okay. I mean, so how old are you, Damon?
I am 46.
Oh, you're just a pup. You're just a pup now. Enjoy it while you can. And the recognition itself, I know this has got to be something that you're going to prize for a long time, buddy. I mean, to win an award from a national organization that we all respect, the National Wild Turkey Federation, And when I hear you say that you thought it was spam, that's a term we never thought of 14 years ago when you joined the TWA.
Right.
Spam is something you ate when you went fishing.
Mm-hmm.
You know, I mean, so I can tell it means a lot to you. Does that make you just more determined for your job? Because I saw you loved banding turkeys. You guys did 60, which I thought was pretty impressive. A third of the turkeys banded in the region throughout this project. You guys did 60 of them. So how important is that banding project?
Well, it's a project we're working with Tennessee Tech. Ended up being a 5-year project. Just concluded this year. I actually just finished up turkey banding this week. So as an agency, we're done officially banding turkeys. But I feel like we're probably going to continue that in some capacity in the near future. At what capacity, we don't know yet. But it's been a lot of work. But it's a lot of work. Put in a lot of really really long hours at it. But when you catch them, it makes it all worth it.
So where will you be opening day, Damon?
Where will I be opening day? I will be on some family friend ground.
There you go. Okay, all right. That's where we want you to be, Damon. Out there. Yeah. Are you tired? You don't take your award into the woods with you, do you? I mean, I just thought you might carry it out there.
No, it's a little heavy. It's not something you want to carry around with you.
I've seen it and everything. Damon, thank you, buddy. Congratulations again. Glad Amy was able to hook us up here and have a great turkey season. Think about us old geezers out there trying to kill one too. Okay, man? All right.
Yes, sir. Thank you. Thank you
very
much.
All right, Damon. Thank you, buddy. All right, Damon.
All right, thank you.
All right. Appreciate Damon Hollis. Let's get back real quickly here to Johnny Mack, because Johnny Mack next Saturday.
Hey, Larry.
The time will be, and you'll be at the the Memphis Sports Shooting Association, 9428 Old Brownsville Road. All this information is on LarryRay.com. But you mentioned the main event. The grand prize. You got a sub gauge event. You got to shoot both main and sub gauge events. You got side games, and you got team competition.
Yes, sir. Now the team is something we've done for a couple of years now.
Yeah.
And so you put a group of four shooters together.
Okay.
Pay an extra $20 entry.
All right.
That's all that's going to the pot.
And
what we're going to do out of each team is throw the low score out.
Okay.
So the top 3 scores on the team will be your team score.
All right. And
so if you want to invite your kid or your wife or somebody that doesn't shoot very well, like me, maybe, yeah. We can have fun shooting, and the fact that we can't hit any targets won't take away anything from the team.
And are you still taking sponsors now?
You know that, Larry.
All right, so tell us about how they get involved.
I hope we leave one with here today.
Yeah, tell me how do people get involved in this thing?
Well, the easiest way is either from your website or from our Mid-South Quill Forever website.
Okay, yeah.
MidSouthQuillForever.org.
Okay.
We've got a coming events page on there where you can sign up for the Sporting Clay Shoot.
All right.
And we've got a contact us page where if you have a scout troop, a 4-H group that wants to do nature walks or bluebird houses or something, they can get in touch with us, and we can try and set them up at our habitat area.
And lunch will be included.
Oh, in the Sporting Clay Shoot, we're going to include lunch again.
Raffles and door prizes.
Of course. It wouldn't be fun without it.
It wouldn't be fun without it. And when we get down to it, $300. Sponsor includes a main event shooter entry and sign. $200 is a sponsor, includes sign only.
That's it.
So there you go, and he's got the price. We'll have all that on LarryRay.com. Again, that's next Saturday starting at 9 a.m.
The shoot will start at 9, so get there at 8 or 8:30 to pre-register.
How many people do you want? How many are you looking for?
50 to 60 to 70 people.
That's great.
We'll be able to move through real good, real fast.
Well, I'm glad you're not doing it today.
No.
I mean, you'd have to boat. I saw the other day somebody said they saw a boat pulling a car going down the road. So I said, this has been a lot of rain here and everything.
But this is a lot of fun. And if you haven't shot a lot of sporting clays, this is a great time to come out because we have a lot of people that only shoot once or twice a year.
Okay.
And we'll squad them with a group of folks that know that are a little more experienced.
Yeah.
To help them along through the course.
Well, Johnny, we appreciate it, and Johnny's going to stick around for a few more minutes here on Outdoors with Larry Ray. Let's take a break, come back, and it's classic time.
Yes, indeed.
We're going to talk to the man himself that won the Bassmaster Classic. $330,000. We'll be right back. Easton Fothergill.
Yes.
Coming up.
Welcome back to Outdoors with Larry Ray, brought to you by the Tennessee Wildlife Resources Agency, B&M Poles, and Ducks Unlimited.
Hey, good Saturday morning. Welcome back to Outdoors with Larry Ray as we roll into our 25th year on the air. Good Saturday morning to all of our people in Memphis on AM 790 from 9 to 10:30 every Saturday morning. Brownsville, Tennessee, 1520 AM, 95.3 FM. From 6 to 7:30 in Jackson, Tennessee on News Talk 101.5 from 6:30 to 8. Of course, you can go to LarryRay.com and get all these shows also. But, hey, we've been putting this segment off. I've been fired up about this. The only problem is, I wish my buddy Ron Wong was here because I can't think about talking to the Classic champion without Ron. But we have struggled this week with the passing of Ron Wong. When I talked to this young man and checked with him, he knew about Ron and knew that Ron had passed, and Ron never missed a Classic. He would be at Red Crest this weekend. So Ron Wong is with us right now. Okay, I know it because he was with us last week. But we're so happy to have on Outdoors with Larry Ray the 2025 Classic champion, Bassmaster Classic champion, Easton Fothergill. Good Saturday morning, Easton.
Hey, thanks for having me on, guys.
How does that announcement feel to you now? You've had a little time now. Are you back to earth, or are you now Mr. Easton now, or are you still just Easton?
Oh, we're still just Easton, but yeah, I still don't know if it's set in or not yet. I mean, it's just surreal, everything that happened in the past few weeks. But yeah, just a dream come true and definitely life-changing for sure.
It has been, Easton. 22 years old, the second youngest man to win the Classic. Of course, I didn't know the second young man. I didn't even know who that was until I read all the story there that we found out about you. But broke the record, 76 pounds, 15 ounces. And I think the most impressive part of this, Easton, was the way you did it. You stayed consistency, and you got to the championship round on Sunday. And we're going to talk about that, but talk about your journey, Easton. I mean, everybody knows the story by now. I know a lot of my listeners out there know the story. About 19 months ago, you're on a gurney in a hospital in Alabama, having brain surgery, and look, 19 months later, you're on the stage at Fort Worth as the Classic champion. How do you sink it? How does that sink into you, man? I know you're a walleye fisherman. Your dad taught you to fish. Somebody said you were in the tournament when you were 4. I got to believe that. I got to see that picture, But talk about this journey, man.
I mean, it's been unbelievable to go from the lowest of lows, and then from then on, every dream I've ever had has come true.
Yeah.
But yeah, I mean, I worked my way all the way up the ranks, the Bassmaster ranks. Myself and my dad, we started the local high school fishing team at my high school.
Yeah.
When I finished 8th grade.
Yeah.
We got that rolling. And then from then on, I decided I wanted to go in college. I did some research, reached out to a bunch of different colleges, and basically landed on University of Montevallo down in Alabama.
Yes.
I really liked the location of that school, and it was really well funded. They paid for your travel when you travel for tournaments. So
oh yeah,
that was obviously super big deal for me, and also just the lakes that you got within an hour drive of Montevallo is pretty good. So that's why I chose to go there. And yeah, 4 years there, there's no telling how much I learned about fishing just from all the other kids and just fishing with a bunch of different kids after school every day, and just it was just one of the best decisions of my life was to go to Montevallo.
Well, I can look at that, and that's a long way from Grand Rapids, Minnesota. So Montevallo,
I mean, it's
in Alabama.
Right. No, it's the other corner of the country, basically.
Yeah.
And I'm grateful I made that decision. I made some incredible memories over the last 4 years. I just graduated last May, so
yes. Yeah.
I'm still fresh out of college. But yeah, the tournament that gave me, the financial support and just the opportunity to even do this was the college classic bracket I won in 23.
Yeah.
And that's what got me into the opens. That's what got me into the
Well, I know
and they provide you with a truck and a boat.
Yeah, and I know that this was your second classic. Everybody thinks, well, this is his first classic. You were there 2 years ago.
Yeah, I was there at Grand Lake. Yep.
Yeah, what did you learn from that going into this classic?
I just learned kind of the ropes. I mean, they have you literally busy from dark to dark,
They do.
for a week.
Yeah.
If it's not fishing, it's meetings, it's rules briefings, it's media day. I mean, they got you busy all day long, and it's really mentally, it tears you down. Really, I mean, it's hard.
It is.
You got to really be able to manage your time.
Yeah.
And I mean, I really just learned how to, like I said, I learned how to manage my time well at the first one. And also, it being my second one, there was very little nerves going into this one compared to the first one, which obviously it makes it much easier to make, the right decisions when you're on the water during the tournament. So.
And I know that coming into this one at Lake Ray Roberts, a big fish lake, we've talked about that. We've talked about all the elements in practice and leading up to it and everything like that. And you're sitting there on day one. That really kick-started you, right? I mean, that day one got you feeling that you could do this, right?
Right, yeah, no. When I came in from day one, I really liked what I saw. I only hit one of my areas. I had 4 or 5 really good areas I found in practice. I only needed to hit one to catch my day one bag. So I really felt good about all the areas I was able to save for the rest of the tournament. And, I was definitely extremely confident going into the rest of the tournament after my day one bag.
24-15, come back to day 2, 29-6, and then we talk about day 3. And you're sitting there at 1 o'clock with 4 fish. You need another one, don't you?
Right.
And then it happens. Walk us through you and that stump you had to deal with, that tree. I mean, to get that fish. Talk about that. Folks, 8-pounder. That did get him Mercury Big Bass of the day, too. But talk about that because, man, I've seen videos. Woo, you look like you're happy, man. I mean, you were pretty excited.
Oh, yeah.
Now, I think we were all, I felt like I was in the boat with you. Everybody else was, too. So talk about that fish.
Yeah, I mean, when I set the hook on that fish, it didn't move, and then it gave up and jumped, and that's when I freaked out.
Yeah.
Because I was having an extremely tough day.
Yes, you were.
Only 4 bites all day.
Yeah.
And none of them were very big. So when I leaned into that one and she jumped, I knew right away that was probably the winning fish and the life-changing fish. And that's why I showed so much emotion on that fish catch. And we got her in the boat, and I mean, it was pretty incredible, the feeling that I had when I was finally able to grab onto her. And I mean, the video shows it, my emotions and just how much that fish meant to me.
Did you really lose 4 baits to that tree within 10 minutes?
I did, yeah, because I was using the forward-facing sonar, and I saw that fish in there.
Yeah.
And I knew how big she was before I caught her, so I was not going to go up to that tree and disturb the fish and possibly spook it. So
I don't know how you did it, buddy. Yeah. I mean, it was your time. And when you think about now, pulling on that stage, here's a man that we all know now. I don't know what Fothergill, I don't know what where your roots are and everything, but I know what Easton is, and I know what Fothergill now means to see your name on that list, and you're thinking about so much going through your mind, your family, your dad, everybody else, and you think about laying on that gurney 19 months before that, dealing with that. You got a story to tell, man. I hope you're ready to tell it. You've probably told it in the last several weeks over and over again, but relate it again to my audience here, Easton, because it's an amazing story. Talk about where you were 19 months ago and where you were back in March the 23rd, 2025, and you win the Classic.
Yeah, so when I was in college, there's a tournament called the College Classic Bracket that all the college kids are working towards.
Yeah.
It qualifies you for the Bassmaster Classic, and it gives you free entry into the Bassmaster Open. So that's kind of the bridge to the professional fishing from the college ranks. It gives one kid an opportunity to do that each year.
Yeah.
And I had made it to the bracket because myself and my partner Nick Dumke, we won Team of the Year for the college series.
That's right.
And that gets you into the bracket.
Yeah.
So I was in the bracket, super excited, getting all prepared, and then I started having headaches. And long story short, it was a brain abscess, an infection in my brain, and as soon as the doctors found that, they threw me into emergency surgery right away because it was very near pushing on a major vessel in my brain, and when it does that, it kills you. So they had to take care of it immediately as soon as they found it, and obviously that was extremely scary for me, and it really showed me how, I guess, fragile life really is.
That's right.
And it really did teach me a lot about life. So.
Well,
but we somehow, some way made it to the bracket. We won the bracket. Got us to a first Bassmaster Classic.
Yeah.
And that's how we fished the Bassmaster Opens last year. And we won 2 Opens.
The rest is history, so to speak. And
right.
Meant to be. But we really appreciate you, Easton, being on Outdoors with Larry Ray. As I tell everybody, this is not Larry King Live. This is Larry Ray Dead. We just. One of the story, and you just got a story, buddy, and I know you're a young guy. You know what's ahead of you, a lot of challenges. Your name is up on that list, and we want to wish you nothing but success. I don't believe in luck, man. It's meant to be. I hope you believe that, too.
That's right.
And
that's right.
We got your number. We want to stay in touch with you, but keep telling that story, Easton. I mean, there's a lot of young kids out there right now that say, man, I can't do that. Yes, you can. Yes, you can.
Exactly. And that's my goal with my platform now, is to show kids that, if this is what you want to do, it is extremely possible. You just got to work hard and, work your way up the ranks, and you can do it. Well,
I think you got a lot of fans out here wherever you might be. Easton, great weekend. Again, thank you for joining us on the Outdoors of Larry Ray, and we look forward to talking to you down the road. And I know my man Ron Wong would have loved to have been there at the Classic. And I know he would have loved to be interviewing you today, and he would have asked you a lot more technical questions than me. Okay, I didn't get into what kind of lure you use and everything. Ron would have getting after me a Nico rig, a red bug, and all that stuff. But anyway, Easton, have a great weekend, buddy. We'll stay in touch. Okay.
Awesome. Thank you so much for having me on.
All right, buddy. Thank you. All right, let's take a break on Outdoors of Larry Ray. Let's wrap this baby up. We'll be right back.
Welcome back to Outdoors with Larry Ray, brought to you by the Tennessee Wildlife Resources Agency, B&M Poles, and Ducks Unlimited.
Hey, good Saturday morning. Welcome back to Outdoors with Larry Ray. We close in on our 25th year on the air, right here on the part of the Odyssey family of radio stations in Memphis every Saturday morning from 9 to 10:30. Of course, in Brownsville from 6 to 7:30 on 1520 AM and 95.3 FM. And in Jackson, Tennessee, from 6:30 to 8 on News Talk 101.5. And first of all, we want to hope that everybody is safe. We have really been inundated by tornadoes, 10 inches of rain. It has been amazing here. And I know a lot of families are suffering on this Saturday morning, but we hope that you're safe. And we look forward to better weather next week, as 1 week from today, turkey season opens. And this almost 82-year-old man will be out there crawling around. It better be dry. I'll tell you that for a fact. But one of my favorite guests, I talked him into being here on us because 20 years in Idaho, they've got some new products out. And you know that when I talk knives, I want to talk buck knives. It just seems like it just seems like part of this show for many, many years. I don't know how many times C.J. Buck has been on the show, but he is the fourth generation family member to run Buck Knives and the current CEO, president, and chairman. And I didn't realize this, that you have been started out with a company on the production line in 47 years ago, CJ.
Man, it seems much longer than that.
Yeah, that's what I was saying. It's got to feel more than that. Almost 50 years. But the family tradition here, but always a great guest on Outdoors with Larry Ray. talking about the great buck knives, because you guys have been in the business for how long? I mean, when did y'all start?
Oh, my great-grandfather started making knives in 1902.
1902.
So,
that's before me.
We're over the 120-year mark.
That's before me.
Before you, Larry.
That's even before. Nobody thinks that's possible anymore. But I know things have changed over the years, CJ. But you guys now 20 years in Idaho. I didn't realize that you've been in the Idaho area for 20 years, and that change was from. Did you move from California to Idaho? Was that what it was? I can't remember.
Yeah, so historically, my grandfather came to San Diego, California in the Navy.
Yeah.
And so his father moved in with him to escape some Idaho weather.
Uh-huh.
And the two of them made knives. We were in San Diego for 60 years before moving to Post Falls, Idaho.
Wow. Well, I have to tell you, I lived in La Jolla, California for 3 months. When I was 10 years old, because my parents said, let's try this one more time. We drove to San Diego and lived 3 months, and that was the worst 3 months of my life. We came back home with 2 parakeets and a dog and me. So I think I would have gone to Idaho, too, if it came down to it. But
it was needed. We had to do it.
Yeah, and the tradition of the company itself. You guys have not just sat, even though the Little Buck and all these other knives you have come out with, and we're going to talk a little bit about the new folding 55 knife, the customized 55 knife, but you guys have not just sat and used the same knife for 102 years. You guys have tried to be innovative in it's a competitive field because I don't know. Yeah, go ahead.
I was going to say, it really is. We, some of the things that when you talk about new products, you've got opportunities for materials. We've got opportunities for design, how it feels, what it weighs, how you carry it.
Yeah.
And so one of the internal disciplines that we've really focused on is design with intent.
That's it.
And just making sure that all those pieces go together into a product that if you're going to create a hunting product, you're going to have corrosion resistance, edge retention, ductility, how you're going to carry it, how much can it weigh, the shape of the blade. You have all those various pieces in your mind when you're designing it.
And you've kept the name. A lot of people thought, when I first had my first buck knife, I thought it was named after the dog in Call of the Wild. I did not know that it was the family name, because we think of Buck. I've got a lot of friends called Buck. But it's the name itself that I'm glad it was never changed to something more modern or anything like that, because the buck knife, I don't think of it as Idaho, California. I think it is American when it comes right down to it. And I think you agree with that too, don't you, CJ? I mean,
oh, yes, I do, sir.
And the product itself. How many buck knives do y'all have now? I mean, off the top of your head?
Oh, probably around, not counting all the variations of different packaging, but probably around 100 and a little over 100.
Well, what would your great-grandfather, what would the original Mr. Buck think about this?
He would someday I'll ask him.
Ask him. Oh, you will. Well, not soon, I hope, Buck. Okay, CJ.
No, not soon.
I hope not soon. But now let's.
No, I know with my grandfather, I know it went beyond his wildest dreams.
Yeah.
You talked earlier about the 110 folding hunter.
Yeah.
He introduced that in '64.
Wow.
And the company just grew 30+% a year every year following that introduction. To the point where it was bigger than he ever thought it would be.
And you still sell the folding hunter, right? I mean,
we do. It is a heritage, iconic, classic knife.
Yeah, you've never thought about putting that outside, because it's part of the legacy, isn't it? I mean,
oh yeah, totally is. It's the Goldilocks of knives. It's not too big, not too small.
It is
just right.
And so we talk about now the customized 55 knife.
Yes,
it's a pretty easy name to remember, and everybody says, well, the 110, it must be half the size the 55 is.
Yes, sir.
So was this who named this knife?
Oh man, I don't remember.
It wasn't you,
but
okay.
Yeah, it was right from the very beginning, though.
Okay.
Sometimes we create silly little project names when
Yes.
something's in development.
Yeah.
And then we name them for real afterwards. I think that one, that was its project name, Half the 110.
Half the 110.
And it stuck.
It stuck,
it just stuck.
Well, when the 110 is so, there's no telling how many of those things are out now. And,
And you mentioned earlier it's so the 55. So every year we add products to our custom knife shop.
I thought
so
you
can
did.
get on our
Yeah.
website.
Yeah.
And you can click on pictures and you can build a knife and we will build it custom designed for you.
Did you hear that?
And this year we added the 55 to that assortment.
Yeah, and that's available now. When you go to
Yes, sir.
buckknives.com, I guess that's what it is. I'm
Yes, sir.
Off the top of my head, the buckknives.com. I like to go just look at them and think about it. And I know the company itself is a family company, CJ, and you probably got people that have worked for y'all all 20 years in Idaho, I imagine.
Oh, yes, we do.
And
And people we brought up from California is still here.
they actually left California to go to Idaho.
Yes, they
I'm
did.
good for them. That's good for them to go up to God's country, I think you think, because I've been to that
Yes,
area.
I mean, as we're talking, I'm looking out my window. Happy Saturday morning to you, by
Yes.
the way.
What are you seeing?
Turkeys in full puff.
All right, let's cut CJ off now. I mean, he's.
I'm trying to concentrate here. I'm staying away from
Come
the window.
on, CJ. I know you're not in the office on this Saturday morning, and now you're making me feel good. We're here in the rain and all like that, but we know that turkey season starts next Saturday here in Tennessee on the 12th, and there's going to be a big Sporting Clays event next weekend on the 12th out at the Memphis Sports Shooting Association. We want good weather out there, so we know now what the weather is and where he is.
Sure.
Yep.
Where it is most of the
low 60s and raining turkeys.
Well, low is what we are right now. I mean, when it comes down to it. But so talk about the companies, what's going on, and this is such a. And I always like to get CJ on the phone because it just glorifies how important a knife is. I think, I don't know how many I've lost, but little bucks, I've had enough of them, and they've got 9 lives. I don't know if CJ knows that, but they do have 9 lives. I've lost some of them 8 times, and then they all of a sudden disappear. What is in CJ Buck's pocket? I haven't asked you that before. I mean, I hope, what would be in your pocket if you had a buck knife with you now? I don't know what.
So right now, I always have a knife in my pocket, but and I am happy to see you. But yes, I do have a knife in my pocket.
Okay.
What I'm carrying right now is a brand new product, so I'm kind of experimenting. We haven't really started delivering it yet, but it's the Range series. It's a brand new locking mechanism for us.
Okay.
Very strong one-hand operational, very strong lock mechanism. So it's a pocket clip. There's a large and a small.
Ooh, okay.
And it's called the Range series, and it is so smooth.
Oh, you got me. You got me.
When you got something that you can just sit there while you're on the phone and open and close it, like you're playing with this knife. It's a gadget that you just can't put down.
Yeah.
That's how this knife is, and I just love it.
Woo. Will it be out by May 23rd? I just want to know because that's my birthday.
No, it will not. It'll probably be closer to August.
August. Well, I can celebrate for a long time, when it comes down to it. But I don't know how many people ever ask you what's in your pocket. I'm glad it was. Hey, CJ, we always appreciate having you on Outdoors with Larry Ray. Stay in touch, buddy. I know it's a tough life. Somebody's got to do it, okay? I'm talking about me. I'm not talking about you. I'm talking about me. All right, buddy. Have a great weekend, CJ.
All right, Larry. Thanks,
Always
man.
good to talk to you. Bye-bye.
All right. Bye-bye.
All right, CJ. We're going to try to can we get Dave Gabbard on for the last 2 minutes here? I know he's probably out there on his porch pouting, so let's see if we can get him. You got his number there, Shelby? Let's see if we can get him, and we'll close out this show. Johnny Mack, thank you, buddy.
Oh, listen, Larry.
Beautiful day in the neighborhood.
Always appreciate what you do for us, and always enjoy being on the show with you.
Best I can. Mr. Trebo over there, thank you.
You're welcome.
And the turkey season is next week, and we'll get ready for it. I hope we're not in here in this studio next week. We'll all have to have earmuffs. It'll be making noises, and I'll bring mine in. You can't get him? Okay. Well, I was going to try. All right.
Well, he's mad. He's ignoring.
He's probably mad. Okay. All right, that's the real newspaper, as I used to say back in the old days and everything. All right, let's let him go. All right. Let me tell you about next week's show. It is the Turkey Show, the annual Turkey Show, and we have some top-notch guests on next week. Not only Bill Cooksey, but Pat Pitt, Steve Turpin. Man, we've got some of the big names in turkey hunting on next week's show, and look forward to seeing that. Again, thank you, Johnny Mack. Thank you, Guy Trebo.
Yes, sir.
Thank you, Shelby McCall. Let's hope we're in a bit different studio next week. This is Larry Ray reminding you to do each and every week. It doesn't cost an extra cent to be a good sport. And God bless the USA.